What is up, guys? Drew Adventures here, back with another episode. Now, if you have been following me for a while, you might recall one of the Q&A videos I did responding to some of your comments in my YouTube videos. Now, it's been quite a while and comments have been accumulating, so I'll do a rerun. Most of these, if not all of them, are regarding Ripple, since it's the main topic I cover here on my channel, and a lot of them I found quite funny, so I will be addressing some of you guys' concerns, especially to those of you who are a little bit skeptic on Ripple and XRP. So let's just jump straight into it. Now, to kick it off, we'll start off with Pablo's question. I have read that Ripple will take away 50 billion coins out of the system just recently. Yes, they will be taking out 55 billion XRP. They will be putting those 55 billion XRP into an escrow, which will release 1 billion XRP a month available for sale. So any XRP that's not sold in that period will go back at the end of the queue in a new escrow contract. Second one goes to Garth. If Warren Buffett understood cryptocurrency and decided to get in, I believe he would lean towards XRP. It fits his style of growth investing, so that's how I'm going to think about this. Ripple is the only blockchain so far that has proven to me that it has a real purpose and actually can solve a problem. Now, I can agree a little with this comment because one of my favorite quotes comes from Warren Buffett, and it goes somewhere along the lines of, when investing in a company, you don't have to be right about everyone, you just have to be right about a handful. Now, when it comes to cryptocurrency, I know it is fairly new, it is in its infancy, but I do think there's going to be a shift, and the companies that are going to succeed are those companies that have a real life use case, that are trying to solve a real life problem, and I do think Ripple is one of those companies. Now, I know there are several other companies that are actually have this real use case, but I'm referring more to these ICOs that every time I log into YouTube, it seems like there's the new hottest ICO. I can't remember them off the top of my head, but they are a lot. And I can compare it to the .com bubble, where everyone was going crazy investing in every single company, every single internet company that came out. And when the bubble burst, the whole market went down. Even Amazon took quite a big hit. But at the end of the day, the only companies that prospered were, in fact, one of them was Amazon, but those that had a real use case. It's if you watch a brief video introduction to what the .com bubble was, if you don't know what it is, just search it. I think there's a 1-minute video that explains it perfectly, and it's literally the same as what's happening with ICOs in the cryptosphere today. Everyone's creating a company, everyone's starting their own ICO, everyone's raising funds, and it's at some point this can't go on any further. Patson says the fundamental idea behind cryptocurrency is peer-to-peer transactions. People are sick and tired of big banks. I don't see XRP being as successful as you often preach in the long run. He continues with, I'm not taking XRP's fundamentals and its use cases. I'm referring to the original idea behind the creation of cryptocurrencies in the first place. The first person people to introduce the cryptocurrencies to the world was Satoshi. The first paragraph of his or her white paper states that the idea behind Bitcoin is P2P. The sole reason for P2P is to get rid of the middleman, in parentheses banks. The crypto world can do just fine without XRP. The large majority of people investing in crypto do it because they like the idea of decentralization. XRP is the complete opposite. Now, I can't stress this enough, and I have been addressing this issue quite a lot, and I will address it once again. First of all, the idea that XRP is centralized and Bitcoin is decentralized is kind of outdated. XRP is actually decentralized. It's a deflationary currency. Now, how is Ripple decentralized? The answer to this is the system, the way it works is that for every 2 attested third-party validating nodes that meet the criteria set by Ripple, they will remove 1 validating node operated by them. Now, on the other hand, people are saying Bitcoin is decentralized when the fact is that it's not as decentralized as you think. I think over 51% are controlled by the top 3 mining farms or cartels, as people want to call it. So Bitcoin, the idea behind Bitcoin was P2P, decentralization, but reality is it really isn't that decentralized, especially with mining pools, which is the big problem they have today. And people, I mentioned this a lot, they cut back on their research, they don't do their due diligence when it comes to research, and they start saying these absurd comments, these absurd claims without doing research. And honestly, I try to debate with you guys, and I try to have a reasonable conversation, but it's really hard to debate someone that doesn't do their research and all their facts are backed by a Reddit post they read 2 days ago, or the headlines they skimmed through last week. Research takes hours and hours. Every day, we in the community, especially in the Discord group, a lot of us spend a lot of time researching. And when, like I mentioned before, when it comes to debating, you can't debate with someone that just bases their statements on headlines and forum posts. Now, going back to what you said, you don't think in the long run, you don't think people need XRP. Banks will not disappear tomorrow, next year, in 5, in 10. Now, the idea and the fundamentals and how banks work might change 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line, but reality is they are not going anywhere. So this idea of people are sick of big banks and we don't need big banks and XRP has no use case is absurd when considering Bitcoin, first of all, is not ready to be adopted as this one world currency you guys seem to want it to be. It's far away from that. So yeah, Patson, I honestly think your statements are flawed and they need a little bit more facts to back up. And the idea of XRP being centralized is incorrect. The idea of Bitcoin being totally decentralized is incorrect. The idea of XRP having no use is incorrect. And the idea of banks not being around is unfortunately also incorrect. Hello, Dre. Do you think the value of XRP will get to $2 in 2018? Honestly, I don't know. Seeing as you know so much about Ripple, as stupid as my question might be, any clueless or estimates of when and how much Ripple will be worth in the coming years? Honestly, guys, it's really hard to predict this. I get this question so much. I don't know. No one knows. If we all knew by now, we'd all have a plan in place and be rich. You can speculate a little bit. There's only so much speculation you can do. And actually, if you are looking for price speculation, if you really have this, the only thing that is of most importance when it comes to Ripple and XRP is the price speculation, I can direct you to a really good blog post by Hodor. You know, I really enjoy his work, and he made a piece for those of you looking to speculate on price. I will link it in the description. Make sure to check it out. If I vaguely remember the title, it was something about the crystal ball and price prediction. So I will leave that link in the description. If you are interested in price prediction, make sure to check it out. How do you think I should keep my XRP? Now, I honestly think you should keep your XRP, especially if you're going to be holding for the long term. Not just XRP but any other cryptocurrency, in a hardware wallet. I personally use the Ledger Nano S. I posted on my Twitter. If you don't follow me, make sure to follow me. Yesterday for the Black Friday weekend, there was 10 to 21% off on the Ledger Nano S. If you haven't picked one up, I think it's still running today. The link will be in the description below. So if you don't have a hardware wallet yet, make sure to pick one up. It is the safest way to store XRP, Bitcoin, Ethereum Classic, and all your cryptocurrencies. They support quite a broad variety of them, and they are implementing new ones in the future. Can XRP move 5 cents? Definitely can, and definitely did. 1 week later, 0.15. Actually, I have it on screen. 1 week later, 0.2702. So, unfortunately, no, if you are looking to buy cheaper. Didn't happen. So I made an account on Coinbase. Now I need to buy Bitcoins, and with Bitcoins I could buy cryptos. How do I buy XRP, and how and where do we store them? On my Coinbase account, no, you won't be able to store XRP on your Coinbase account yet. Now, this is not stating they will add it. Hopefully they do, but at the moment you're going to have to buy Bitcoin and maybe go to an exchange like Binance, and there you could buy XRP and other cryptos. And to store it, like I mentioned before, make sure to pick up the Ledger Nano S or any other hardware wallet. That is the best and safest way to do it. Link will be in the description below. This is the end product from Swell. Loads more companies to follow. I think this was referring to the American Express announcement. Yes, this is one of the end products of Swell. Like I mentioned in the Swell video, everyone was super pissed the price didn't go up or they didn't make any big announcements. Remember, the sole purpose of Swell was get banks into blockchain, introduce them to blockchain, and they have achieved this. You see Qualix, American Express, the over 100 financial institutions involved with Ripple at the moment, and the more they have to come. Remember, they did have private meetings every morning before the session started, so I do believe there are a lot of other deals being worked on behind the scenes, so make sure to stay tuned. That's why I said be patient. Swell did what it was meant to do. It was meant to inform and create new partnerships, hopefully get banks a little bit more comfortable when it comes to blockchain. Okay, where does XRP come into this? I think that was also to the American Express partnership. As they mentioned, XRP will come into play later on. This is you're partnering with American Express. They are going to have to start testing the Ripple net. Slow and steady. Everyone, I mentioned this a lot in my videos, patience is no longer something people are used to. Everyone wants everything now. Takes time. If you can't wait, if you are very impatient, I recommend you sell all your XRP and move into another more volatile coin, which announces, their coin, their mobile wallet or their new logo every week. But yeah, that's my 2 cents on it. Question number 1, how will XRP become more valuable if the banks using RippleNet aren't even using Ripple's cryptocurrency? Because eventually they will. Second one, why aren't banks using XRP? Isn't the most optimized digital currency to use on RippleNet from a cost-saving perspective? Like I mentioned a lot, quite often on my videos, Rome wasn't built in a day. Systems take time to put in place. This technology is new, and banks as well as financial institutions won't jump straight into it. If banks currently using RippleNet are not using XRP, what digital currency are they using? They are using no cryptocurrency. They're just using the RippleNet. All right, this partnership, like the Amex partnership, does not currently use XRP. That has been confirmed in both cases. They are using Ripple Tech, but not XRP. By the way, I hold XRP. This isn't FUD, just facts. Now, that is correct, but Mark Treacher, global head of strategic accounts at Ripple, told CNBC in an interview, and I quote, "The XRP currency will come into play later on in the evolutionary dynamics and the other players." So it is correct. They are not using XRP at the moment, but Ripple does has plans on getting XRP adopted. This has been known for quite a while, and like I've mentioned in previous comments, Amex just jumped into to blockchain technology, the RippleNet. They obviously have to test it out. They have to take their time. Systems take time to put in place. Thanks for the video, but for some reason nobody is directly answering to the most pertinent question, which is if partnerships such as Amex and with them gaining the major benefits offered by Ripple blockchain, etc., without using XRP, where is the clear incentive or catalyst for future banks, etc., to use XRP and thus drive the price appreciation? Everyone, including Brad, is dancing around the question with meaningless general statements like have patience and XRP will come into play later. Unfortunately, this is just blah blah. Actually, no one is dancing around the question, and I will answer this question directly. Banks and financial institutions do stand to benefit from using XRP because of their liquidity and cost saving when it comes to transaction. I don't know how to make it more clear than that. Just go to the Ripple website and look at the stats of what banks and financial institutions gain on adopting XRP. It's clear. It clearly just takes a few hours of research. When you start doing research on Ripple, you'll run into this. This is why I keep on saying, and I will sound repetitive, people are not doing their research. If you would have done your research, if you actually would have take an hour a day to read up on the company, you would have already, and within the first few minutes, you would have run into the answer to this question. No one is dancing around the question. I'm annoyed that XRP didn't stay at 25 at least. Actually, I think I answered this already, but it's at 27 at the moment of recording. Maybe when you see this video, it's at 25, 26. So it did. I don't know why people expect it to stay at 25 within the same day, 2-3 days, even the same week. Patience, people. Now, to finish off, sell that crap coin. BTC is making real money. He is a idiot. Guys, feel free to sell all your coins if you are not pleased with the results or didn't get the results you were expecting, like I mentioned, I'm not here to make you guys buy XRP. I could care less if you buy into it or not. This is just my point of view, and I try to cater to those interested in keeping up with Ripple and XRP news. Now, I do receive a lot of comments. If you did enjoy this video, I will make a follow-up. If you have any questions, if I missed out one of your questions, just feel free to leave it down below and I will address it in a future episode. Now, that is going to be it for today. If you enjoyed this video, if you felt like you've learned something, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe with notifications on so you get notified every time I post. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I will see you on the next one.